Before I get to today's subject, which is the increasing magnetic shifts of the Earth grid and their impact on our trading brains, I want to just bring your attention quickly to the risk disclosure. Trading is risky, as you know. Please read the risk disclosure, which is below. There is a link in the text below the video here. Okay, today's subject, which I feel is rather an important one, which is sort of skipped over by neuroscience at large, is the impact of the shifting magnetics on our brains. It's a well-established fact that the magnetic grid in recent years has been moving faster than in known history, resulting in the necessity of all the airports having to repaint their runway orientation for the gyros in aeroplanes. So whilst this of course happens regularly, but this time it had to be done much earlier than the usual maintenance requires. So what is going on here? We know from a study that was performed by the Max Planck Institute in the 50s, way back in the 50s, what happens when humans do not receive the 7.83 Hertz frequency, which is the life-giving frequency for all life. It's 7.83, and of course it's harmonics. Now, what happens the moment in this experiment, what they did, they built some sort of Faradian cage, and people were placed in it, and the 7.83 Hertz frequency was withheld at intervals without them knowing when it was going to happen. Within very brief moments of the withdrawal of the 7.83 Hertz frequency, the brains of the participants in the experiments were experiencing very unpleasant symptoms. They range from physical symptoms to mental major disorientation and symptoms to people feeling really seriously ill. The moment the frequency was reintroduced into the Faradian cage, things in a very short period of time started to normalize themselves again. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because this is exactly what the Earth and everybody without exception, everybody's brain is experiencing right now. Whether you are a trader or not has nothing to do with it. The magnetics of the Earth, like everything else in life, unfolds in waves. It's not a permanent, constant movement. Rather, it shifts. There is a little bit of a, shall we say, pregnant pause. Then it shifts again until the cycle is complete. Now, I am not sure when this present major shift of the magnetics is complete. Nobody knows that. You know, there are many assumptions out there, but you know, we can't really be totally sure when exactly this period is going to come to its full conclusion and how. Suggestions go from a couple of years to 10 years, 20 years. So hey, who knows? So we just have to be content with the fact that we are all moving in uncharted territory, and that we are having to feel our way through this magnetic shift and the change of energies at large, a step at a time. This is not frightening as long as you really understand what you are dealing with, because our brains, in essence, are really functioning like a GPS. You need an orientation. The orientation is the magnetic grid in the Earth and in the cosmos, upon which you are creating your reality. These are your reference points. Those are, if you like, the information filters through which you live your reality. as a trader, as a broker, as a trader, come coach, in my case, sitting, by the way, in the freezing cold at the beginning of June here in the UK, in a warm cashmere jersey and a foulard, because it is just so unbelievably cold. Anyway, so unseasonal things are happening everywhere because the weather, of course, it's energy, it's intelligence, and everything is feeling these shifts. Now, in the last 2 weeks, you may have noticed there have been a lot of instabilities, and what is actually happening, apart from the astrological window that has opened around the 3rd of June, which can only be likened to some form of wormhole, where a major reorientation is taking place, a major energy shift. Now, our brains need time to readjust and to find that new signal. This is really what it's all about. How do you deal with it? Learn to meditate. Please go on my website, mentalstrategiesfortraders.com, where you get, in very simple, short terms, what is required for you to maintain peak performance and grow as an individual, because ultimately that is what it's all about. The universe, the energies around us are adjusting, moving into a higher energy frequency, a higher level of evolution. It can never ever be any other way, even though it's temporarily experienced as sometimes even traumatic and unpleasant. Ultimately, it is all good and positive. I really want you to understand this. So, coming back to, go to my website, have a look. If you're new to all this material, there are things you can do. That said, ultimately, it's a lifestyle change. It's not about just reading a quick book and saying, aha, yeah, I understand this, and then moving away. You have to change the way you deal with yourself, you deal with your trading, the way you language even with the environment and everything around you, because everything is interconnected. The separation we are experiencing is an illusion. And one of the strategies which I teach is actually getting out of this illusory separatist state. Anyway, I have talked long enough for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Again, please visit my website. If you like this video, please like it and share it. Thank you for watching.